Welcome to the Downtime from WTWH Media with your hosts, Sarah Wynn and Sheri Kasprzak, bringing you everything you need to know from the week in manufacturing.
Welcome back to the Downtime, WTWH Media's weekly manufacturing podcast. Let me tell you, business is about to pick up. I'm Sarah Wynn, Senior Editor for Packaging OEM, and one half of the Downtime Divas, here with my tag team partner,
Sheri Kasprzak. I am the Managing Editor of Automation and Control Brands here at WTWH Media. That includes plant engineering, control engineering, and consulting specifying engineer. And welcome back to another episode of the Downtime. We're so glad you're here.
It's a pleasure, Sheri. If you are watching on YouTube, you will see I am decked out in Ohio State gear. This episode comes out right before we play Texas. Go Buckeyes, go Buckeyes.
Go Buckeyes.
Oh, we got to go Bucks from Sheri. Nice.
You know it's on when I participate in sports in any shape, form, or fashion. So
let's try it. Sheri, OH.
IO.
Oh!
You act so shocked.
Nice. No, it's not that I'm shocked. It's that I'm hyped up. I'm
glad. We love that. Well, we're recording this on a Friday. It's a Friday vibe today. Got the Buckeyes playing. We're in a chill vibe. It's all good.
Yes, when this episode comes out, the Buckeyes will be 48 hours from kickoff. Big game, beat Texas. There's a sign behind me that says it. So, Sheri, you ready to get on into it?
Let's do it.
All right.
So, over at plantengineering.com, we have a really cool story on AI integration with manufacturing execution systems. So AI is going to play a big role in today's episode. We're going to be having a chat later on in the episode with Mike Santora. He is with Design World, and he's going to be talking about a really cool thing that he worked on for Design World about using AI on the battlefield. Super cool conversation. Mike's a super cool guy. You're going to want to hang out with us for that interview. But another topic over at Plant Engineering in the same realm with AI is manufacturing execution systems and integrating with AI to optimize different manufacturing processes. So this article, it delves into how AI and MES provide real-time data collection and management benefits for certain manufacturing processes, and how certain technologies enable and enhance AI and MES. And you'll also learn 5 best practices to achieve a smooth and effective AI integration with MES. I'm going to link that article in the show description, and you can also check it out over at LinkedIn. And while you're there, give us a follow over at LinkedIn. We're at the Downtime at LinkedIn. You can also follow us on Instagram at the.downtime. And while you're at it, go check us out over at YouTube, Spotify, and SoundCloud. Make sure to follow us.
Follow. Yes, please. So headlines. Sheri, we had such a great time with Memphis record pressing in last week's episode.
So fun.
So much packaging. I couldn't just have one story. No. So we now have over at packagingoem.com, we explore Memphis record pressing, how they collaborated with Atlantic Packaging to automate their packaging line with a variety of OEMs. There's several. They're all in the story. It's a fun story, an application story. We talk about COVID-19 and how the demand for vinyl went through the roof, how they went from hand packing to automated lines, and how it improved overall efficiency. Check that out. And there is a great quote graphic over on packagingoem.com. My favorite little piece of that, little nugget of that interview, how they went from a punk rock band on their packaging line to a full-blown orchestra. Nice.
We love that. Yeah. They were super fun to talk to. I got to go pick out a hoodie from their merch shop. They have such cool merch. So Memphis record pressing and their collaboration with Atlantic Packaging. Go check out the article at Packaging OEM. There's also an article to come over at plantengineering.com, so keep an eye out for that. I'm sure we'll drop it here on the Downtime when it comes live. So that was a great conversation, super fun chat about vinyl.
Yes, thank you again, Brandon, Austin, and Nick. We appreciated your time. Had a blast. I learned a lot.
For sure.
All about vinyl. All right, so Sheri, that's my headline. You have anything else?
No, that's it. Let's get into it.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. All right, all right, all right. So, weekly on this podcast, Sheri, and our audience, our listeners, of course, we always talk about 3 WTWH media brands. And let me step back for a second. WTWH Media stands for Willing to Work Harder. It's a variety of B2B publications. On this show, we talk about plant engineering, control engineering, and packaging OEM, of course, my little baby. There are That's really just scratching the surface. There are so many brands within the WTWH umbrella. And we really wanted to reach across the aisle and get some other editors from our company on the show.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we picked a good one because Mike is a hoot. He is great to talk to. As we learned in one of our conversations with him, like he started out wanting to be an actor, and that is so evident when you talk to him because he is just so charming and fun to talk to. He just has such a great personality. So it's such a fun interview. But yeah, you're right, and it was such a delight talking to him about the AI topic that he helped develop for this story for Design World.
Yeah, and so a little bit of info about Mike. Yes, he lived in New York. Sheri once upon a time lived in New York too. They bonded over that. But he was born and raised in Northeast Ohio, Sheri. So we have to point that out. The Ohioans outnumbered Sheri again on this episode, and that's cool. That's cool. She's an honorary Ohioan. She's never been here. She's welcome to come anytime. But I wanted to highlight Mike's background is in journalism and creative writing. He's been with WTWH for over a decade. He currently serves as the managing editor for Design World, and he covers mechanical engineering topics like bearings, couplings, and factory automation. Yeah. And he contributed to a recent story Sheri mentioned, AI on the battlefield. It explores how AI is being used in modern military technology. So we took a few minutes with him, got his perspective on how the piece came together.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a fun, wonderful interview. So why don't you have a listen? Take it away, Mike.
All right, welcome back to the Downtime. Hailing from Northeast Ohio, we have a special guest, the managing editor of Design World. Please welcome Mike Santora to the podcast.
Hello, everybody.
Thanks so much, Mike, for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Oh, thanks, Sheri. Thanks, Sarah.
So, Mike, we have you on to talk about your recent story about AI on the battlefield. This story was the cover for the recent Design World issue. We have some questions written out, but do you want to introduce yourself to our audience first?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, Sarah, Sheri, thank you for having me. This is a blast. For anybody that does not know who I am Mike Santora. I am the managing editor for Design World magazine. I have been there for 10 years now. 10 years, a decade. Oh my goodness. Started right out of grad school as an associate editor, then senior editor, and then now managing editor for the last few years. But yeah, I was thinking about this earlier. It's such a fun time to either be an engineer or be a journalist covering engineering. There's so much happening. It's so fast paced that can drive you nuts, but it can also it also makes for a fun experience. I'm never bored at this gig. So yeah.
Mike,
so that's.
Could you share, Mike, what you typically cover for Design World so our audience knows the topics?
Sure. So primarily, my beats are primarily mechanical, couplings, bearings, but also right now, AI is a part of it. Factory automation is a huge part of it. So, I think one of the things is as, technology keeps moving faster, the scope of what we cover has been expanding. So I think that in large part, that's why I think I'm here today in the first place. We're covering AI on the battlefield in the most recent issue on the cover. And that's just a component of AI, but it's one that I feel like our readership base wants to know about. So I guess to get back to your question is what Design World covers. Yes, the broad umbrella is design engineering, but I feel like it's an ever expanding a topic because we cover what our readers tell us they want to hear about, and that is always growing. So, yeah, I don't know if that made it more clear or made it worse, but yeah.
Bearings, couplings, design engineering.
Yeah, linear motion. Well, we had a section on fluid power, but that grew so big, it became a standalone magazine. So now, like we were talking about Mary Gannon, I don't know if you've met Mary yet, but Mary does Fluid Power magazine. That's happened quite a bit too. As we'll in the past, we had sections of the magazine that eventually kind of outgrew the DW itself, and then became their own magazine. We have Solar Power World now. We have Fluid Power. So. Yeah, like I said, it's always growing. Sometimes to the point where it's so big we have to have its own, give something its own magazine. So
Definitely.
yeah,
And a quick shout out to Solar Power World, Fluid Power World. Follow them on
Mhm.
LinkedIn. Mike, so you've been with WTWH, you mentioned, for a decade. Can you share your journey, what led you to Design World and WTWH, and what aspects of your background have influenced your editorial approach?
yeah, absolutely. My undergrad degree was in journalism. Um, After I got out of undergrad, I moved to New York City for a little while. I was a performer. I was actually an actor. Um, did that for a short period of time, but I think in doing that, what I realized is I had this love of words. What I liked so much about being an actor and a performer was I liked the actual writing itself, and I realized, no, that's really what I am. So I went back to school, finished my MFA in writing, and then after I graduated, I was looking for jobs in journalism. That's what I wanted. An opportunity entry level opened up here at Design World, and I took the gig, and I've kind of never looked back. I work with a team with Paul Heaney, Rachel Piscini, Miles Budimir, Lisa Eitel, Mary Gannon, of some of the most brilliant and hardworking people I know. And I think that's one of the reasons why I've been here a decade and I still like doing what I do. I think, to get back to your original question, as to why or how I should say my background is affected my editorial approach. I think as a creative writer and a journalist, I think the only two prereqs for those two things is that you are always curious. I think that's the most important baseline for both creative writers and journalists together. You have to have a curiosity. You have to want to know how, why. If you have that, um, this job never gets dull or stale or boring. I've never, I've, uh, I've never had much trouble staying curious. Perhaps irritatingly so. Ask my wife and kids. But you know, um, my ability to always want to learn more and to ask questions and to kind of probe and figure out what's next, why, how. Um, and I think, studying journalism in undergrad and then creative writing in graduate school helped foster those things. And it's the approach that I still keep um, today in doing this job. I wrote, for example, this article on AI on the battlefield while we were editing this and going through it. Um, there's several other, questions that I still have and want to ask and want to learn more about. So yeah, I think, again, to answer your question, it's curiosity. I think if you have that, it makes the job easier and makes you better at it. Does that answer your question? I hope it helps.
Yes,
I
curiosity.
hope I got it. Yeah.
Definitely.
Absolutely. So, Mike, obviously AI is an emerging technology. It's ever evolving. And it's something that we, across the engineering group here at WTWH, we are always looking into. It's something that kind of covers a wide swath of topics. What sort of inspired this article on AI on the battlefield? It seems like such an interesting and unique take on AI. We hear about it in a lot of other sectors. Kind of what inspired that, and what was your approach to covering that topic?
Sheri, that's exactly it, right? So much of what DW covers in relation to AI is factory automation or data analytics, specifically for on the manufacturing floor. But AI is seeping into engineering disciplines absolutely everywhere. We have touched upon it before in a defense capacity, but it tends to usually be aerospace related. This is very terrestrial in nature. They're ultralight vehicles that are on the battlefield ground. So I think the idea was really to just touch on the subject in the first place and kind of remind people of the places where AI actually is. I mean, this article is in no way a comprehensive study of the ethical, technical, or geopolitical ramifications of AI technology on the modern battlefield. But we wanted to shed a little light on what this technology, what AI looks like right now on the ground for modern warfare. It's not Skynet and Terminators yet, but what we wanted to do was give our readers an opportunity to see, okay, this is what we have right now, capabilities and the things that people are looking into right now. And I think that's something that our readership base wants to know. We have engineers that obviously want to know the type of content that we have been giving them about AI, but there's more than that. And when we have the opportunity to cover those stories, myself, Rachel Piscini, our editor-in-chief, Paul Heaney, our VP of editorial, those are stories that we want to be able to put out there as well. So I think we were just excited to have an opportunity to tell that story for our readers. So,
thank you, Mike. And I want to add that this story has incredible visuals. We'll share the link on our Downtime social media. It's definitely worth checking out. But Mike, I want to circle back in. Were there any surprising insights or challenges that you discovered when reporting on AI's role in defense technologies?
Yeah, I think one of the most surprising things was, AI defense, like AI in defense right now is already here, and I was surprised to see how fully entrenched in some ways it already is. I think the general public, and myself included in the past, would tend to view AI on the battlefield or AI in modern warfare in a more cinematic scope. We think of autonomous weapons. I mean, that's, I think, what comes to most people's minds when they think about AI in a military application. And that's certain. We do cover that in this story. It's very much a part of the story. But I think so much about the story is also the kind of technology that is behind the scenes, where AI can help with logistics, threat detection, cybersecurity, things that aren't necessarily as glamorous, or is it really going to get the kind of headlines or the buzz that I think makes people excited. Unless you're a nerd like me, but that's the kind of thing that I want to put out there in this article. And again, I want people to understand, where the focus is. There are autonomous weapon systems throughout the story, but it does briefly touch on, like I said, some of these other more behind the scenes applications. But that was surprising to me. It's one of those things that you're aware of, with AI technology, like I said, kind of permeating everything as of late. It's no shock to find out that it's, has a lot of different military applications. But I think I had thought that technology had not advanced as far as it already has. So, and again, that also touches on what I was saying earlier about how, in doing this article, there's really 4 or 5 other articles that need to be written about it. This really scratches the surface. And I think one of my goals for 2026 really will be to tell more of those stories, because every time I feel like whenever I finish editing a piece, typically what happens is I end up with more questions, than answers, and more news stories that need to be written, which is a great, it's a great problem to have. But I always feel like, ooh, I wish I had the space for that, and that's not always the case. So more stories on AI and how that works behind the scenes for military. But yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself one at a time.
Yeah.
you're planning a lot in real time. And I do want to point out that Mike is a journalist. He wrote this story and he's grateful to come on and talk with us. We're thankful for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, kind of going back to your point about, needing more articles about the topic of AI on the battlefield. How do you see this topic kind of like dovetailing into some of the broader conversations that you have at Design World about engineering and design? Sort of how does AI on the battlefield kind of fit into those conversations?
Yeah. Well, I also want to I also want to put this out there. I edited this article and we've worked on it heavily, but it's not solely, it's not my piece. I don't want to like take credit where, credit's not due. But um, to answer your question, I think so. This story is very much a part of the larger narrative and the story about AI that Design World wants to tell. I've said it before. I've said it 100 times. I want to make it clear that AI is not this siloed, standalone technology sector. That's not what it is. It's an evolving tool set that's making its way into nearly every engineering discipline. And because it's becoming so ubiquitous, I think that it's important that we tell all the stories, or as many as we can, about the technology itself. So that's really where this piece kind of is integrated with the rest of the AI technology coverage that we do for the magazine. We're interested in exploring, and I guess if anything for us, the challenge is really keeping up with it. I feel like, the public consciousness, we've been talking about AI for decades, right? But I feel like we saw like a major like tectonic shift in late November of 2022 when Chat GPT comes out. And even though that's just a tiny crumb of what AI is and what its capabilities are, when that happened, everybody, I think collectively, whether you're inside of engineering or not, everybody went, whoa, wait a minute. Okay, now things are further along than I thought. And it's been 3 years now. And, because of that, now there's been this explosion in people's interest in AI. And an interest in AI leads to companies and corporations, investing more money into making the technology something that they can, monetize and work with. And so as that keeps zooming along at like an ever increasing pace, I think going forth for Design World, we're only going to be, trying to cover even more stories about how AI is affecting the engineering that we do. So, yeah, I'm rambling on, but it's just, again, it's an exciting time to be either an engineer or a journalist covering it. And, I think stories like this, I think our readership can expect more of it. As long as this is what people want to see and want to know about, we're going to continue finding articles and angles that make sense, and putting them in print and putting them online and telling stories about them and giving that content to them on their terms. So
Definitely. It's
yeah,
like it's like a front row seat to the innovation. It's kind of what you're describing, Mike.
it's great. Yeah, it really is. I think everybody on our team, on DW's team, it's a small team, but like I was saying earlier, everybody on my team is curious. They want to know these stories. They want to know, why things are working, what's not. What we want to know, what our readership base is curious about, and then we go and we pursue those stories. And that makes it, like I said, a fun time to be a journalist and to be covering this stuff, even if some of it is stressful and some of the technologies can be mildly terrifying at points. We want to know about it. That's our job, and it's part of our job to report it back to our readers. So yeah, it's a good gig. It's fun. We like it.
Thank you, Mike. And I'll give you the floor. Are there any other stories from Design World or that you'd like to share, or there's anything else you'd like our audience to know?
Oh yes, absolutely. I think everybody involved with DW right now is, I think, the most excited. We do this every year. Our annual engineering diversity and inclusion issue is coming up. Um, we've done it for a few years now. It always gets a fantastic response. There's going to be several feature articles and profiles, and that's the content will be going online. It possibly might even be going in print. We're not sure yet. But it provides a very, very interesting and much, much needed perspective about what it is like to be an engineer right now from perspectives that are not that of a middle-aged straight white guy like me. So it's nice to have that perspective. It's needed, and we have such a good time putting it together every year. So that will be coming out in the fall. We still have not enough time. My deadline's coming up very shortly. But again, that's something that DW is excited about every single year. We're in the process of getting it all put together. I think most likely September we'll be putting the finishing touches. Again, obviously the content will be online. We'll be sharing it, through all of our social media channels. I'm not sure about print yet. I think there might be a print component. I hope so. But either way, that content will be out there for our readership base, and it's going to be great. It's going to be another great issue. We're really excited about it. So, see, I can talk about it all day, and then I'm already like, getting too excited. But yeah, that's what's. There's a lot of things that DW is doing. We're not bored over here. We're very, very busy. But I think the EDI issue is probably, I think, what I'm most excited about, and I think our team is pretty excited about as well.
Excellent. Yeah, we're really looking forward to seeing that as well. Like, yeah, so excited.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Like I said, we've been doing it for a while now, and every year I feel like it gets a little bigger, a little tighter, even better, and the response is always great. So I think this year it's going to be more of that, but bigger, better. So.
All right, Mike. Well, big things on deck for Design World, and you can read Mike's story he contributed to, the AI on the battlefield. We will share that on our social media pages. Mike, thank you for spending your downtime with the Downtime.
Yeah, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Well, it was wonderful. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you again, Mike, for joining us. And here on the Downtime, we'd love to have as many WTWH editors join us. In addition to engineering, WTWH also has publications in healthcare and food and hospitality.
Absolutely, yeah, and you'll definitely see some more from those branches as well. We can't wait to have more of our WTWH colleagues on.
Yes, the WTWH fam, #fam.
Exactly.
All right, we are going to move into another game time segment.
We love our games.
Dun dun. This one is called Quick Takes. Sheri and I will throw random topics at each other, and we have to quickly respond with our opinion. So I have this set up. I'll just go first. This is kind of how it's going to flow. I say, Sheri, when it comes to coffee, do you like hot or iced?
Ooh, see, I can't do a quick take. Hot most of the time, but on hot days, iced. So mostly hot?
I'm 100% iced. 100% iced.
Yeah.
Ice, Sarah.
Mm-hmm. Ice, Sarah. All right, so Sarah, pumpkin spice, yay or nay?
Yay. I would change my middle name to Pumpkin Spice. My blood type is Pumpkin Spice. Yes, I can't wait. It's back at Dunkin'. I'm patiently waiting for Starbucks. Pumpkin Spice, yay.
You gotta love a PSL. I can't wait for pumpkin spice everything season. I'm a fall girly, so can't wait.
All right. I put this one in there for you, Sheri. Monochrome outfit, chic or boring?
Ooh, I think it can be chic. It depends. I mean, are we talking all black, which is classic? Maybe. I think it depends. It depends on the color too.
Sheri doesn't know this about me. This is breaking news. Once upon a time, I used to rock what would be called a grout fit, where it's just like a gray on gray, like sweatpant look. Lil Wayne wore that at the concert, by the way. I guess it's chic. This is not my arena.
No, I like a good monochrome moment. I think it depends on what you're rocking. I mean, I think, hey, like a full like black is timeless, like even an all white, even gray. I don't think it's boring. But then again, I think it depends on your confidence and how you carry yourself. That is the key to fashion. You can wear anything, just do it with your shoulders back and your chin up.
Like a Zoolander face.
Drop. There you go.
I haven't worn a grout fit in many years, but I did at one point. Okay, next question.
All right. So, factory tour, fascinating or overwhelming?
Fascinating.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love going on factory tours. So fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just at Hamrick Packaging Systems this week. We did a whole big tour. It was a blast. Check out the pictures at Packaging OEM social media.
Absolutely.
Next question. This one's a little hard. When it comes to LaCroix, what's the best flavor?
Ooh, so I love like the cranberry lime. I think is always going to be like my go-to. But here lately, I've been on a peach strawberry kick because it's like out for summer, and I'm loving it.
I'm going to pick this one. This isn't my favorite, but I have it on my desk. It's a little sunshine flavor. Because, Sheri, you're my sunshine. How about that?
You're my sunshine too, Sarah.
But I'm drinking pamplemousse.
Pamplemousse. Yes.
Yeah.
Love it. All right. So, emails with emojis, yay or nay?
Yay. I love emojis. I don't care.
We love emojis on this podcast. We are big emoji fans. I just, I don't know. I just think they're fun.
I sent an email to, our favorite guest, Stephanie, today, also our supervisor, the head of the table. And I just put a little shrug emoji. I was like, I'll help you. Shrug. I'm weird. Shrug. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this one's fun. When it comes to bubble wrap, do you pop it or do you just leave it alone?
You have to pop bubble wrap. What kind of monster doesn't pop bubble wrap?
Yeah, pop it. Pop it. Pop it.
All right. This is a good one. Post Malone or Lil Wayne? We had this conversation earlier.
This was put in here because Sheri asked me who has the better face tattoos, but this is not just about face tattoos. It's my opinion overall. I'm a Lil Wayne fan. I just am. I've been a Lil Wayne fan for a really long time, probably like 20 years. So Lil Wayne for me.
I love Post Malone. I said this earlier when we were talking about it. I think he must be the nicest man ever with face tattoos. I'm just gonna that's my stance. He just seems like the nicest person. I have never heard a bad thing about Post Malone. So that's my take.
Wheezy baby. Next one up. Oh, there was back-to-back Sheris. This is a little accident. Do you want to go again?
No, go ahead. You take it.
Okay, well, then you can ask the last one, okay?
All right.
Favorite smell of these two things, freshly printed labels or newly cut lumber?
Like, it's got to be lumber for me. Like, I love woodsy smells. I don't even know what freshly printed labels smell like. Like, what smell is that?
Like a printing machine. Like kind of when you walk. So two differences. When you walk into Staples or when you walk into Home Depot.
Definitely lumber. Yeah, I like a nice woodsy. Like, if I'm buying a fragrance, it's got to have like that woodsy, citrusy, deep smell. Yeah, that's my
I love sandalwood.
yeah.
Oh, it's got to be freshly cut lumber.
Definitely. All right, this is the question, the final one, and we all know the answer to this. Ohio State or Michigan football?
The Ohio State Buckeyes, baby. Reigning national champions. But we have to beat Michigan this year or I will be bawling every week for the following year. So we go Buckeyes, beat Michigan.
Go Buckeyes.
Boo, 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 boo. All right. Well, that brings us to the end of the Game Time segment, Sheri.
Yeah, I think this brings us to the end of another episode of the Downtime, as sad as it is. Parting is always such sweet sorrow.
It's inevitable. It always comes back around. We are here at another end of the Downtime episode. I just have to say, go Bucks, beat Texas.
Yep, and I just want to thank you all for joining us for another episode of the Downtime, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Thank you.